And welcome back, everybody. My god, it's been an entire week, almost an entire week since our last broadcast. I'm, of course, Live VIP, and we are back with Sentimiento Latino number 118. My god. Obviously, for the past month, we've been incredibly busy casting over for DreamHack, over on the DreamHack B stream and C stream. And then after that, we took a bit of a break. Our last broadcast was our BTL match, which was a couple of days ago. But since then, we were kind of taking things a little bit easy. But now, we are diving back into that Latin American StarCraft. Today, we have Sentimiento. Tomorrow, we have Battle of the Americas. Then we have ESL Open Cup Asia. And the day after that, we have our third BTL match. That, of course, is Berserker Team League. We are going up against, the CranKy Ducklings, I should say, is going up against Unidos por el Vicio. Unidos por el Vicio is a team that you'll see here today because there are plenty of Latin American players from that team playing in this tournament. And yeah, a massive shout out to everyone as well, by the way. Like, again, it's been a while since we've casted a Sentimiento Latino. I think it's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since our last Sentimiento Latino cast. So it's great to be back. Massive shout out to Lord Logan in the chat for subscribing for 15 months in a row. Kuro as well, 16 Squads and Seki, subscribing for 33 months. Thank you so much. Of course, Kuro, you know, she's been here from the beginning. She's the co-founder alongside me for the CranKy Ducklings. Great to see everyone else. ARJ Skater, Cristiano is in the chat. Shout out to Cristiano. He's actually playing in today's tournament. And as you can see on the screen right now, we're going to be casting him. Of course, we're going to be casting him. Cristiano, he almost never plays. He is the laziest person I've ever met, but he is here, proving me wrong and actually playing. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited to cast Cristiano today. We'll see how he does. If you're in the chat, or maybe if you just tuned in, you may have missed it. He was in Twitch chat and he was saying that he is a little bit sick at the moment, so he doesn't feel too good about his play. Excuses, mate. Regardless, I can't wait. I can't wait to see how he does and how far he can go. Fala galera in the chat as well. Edu Icar in the chat. Of course, he's one of those ESL admins that we all know and love. Yes, of course, today we have a very stacked bracket. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you want to have a look at the bracket, because all of Latin America showed up. We've got all the big hitters from the CranKy Ducklings. Rio and Neo are here repping hard. We've of course got Paco Mike, so shout out to Fernantok in the chat. His boy Paco Mike is here. The Zerg Lord is here. Chaos Fate, Zion's Master, Shelby's here. Yo, Shelby, it's been so long since we've casted Shelby. We have a whole duct tape dedicated to Shelby, and finally Shelby has shown up. I was very tempted. I was very tempted to dive into Shelby's match. Shelby is currently going up against Ares, but that's a TVT, and I'm like, do I really want to cast a TVT? I wasn't really feeling it, to be honest. So yeah, that's on me a little bit. But hopefully Shelby can advance on and we can cast him later on. It's always a lot of fun casting Shelby whenever we can. As I quickly try and set something up here. Oh god. OSC. Beautiful. Just one moment. Patos listo. Beautiful. Alright, and we are going to be diving into our first series. So if you're looking at the bracket, Cristiano is currently going up against Llegollas. Not the Llegollas from Middle-earth, but the Llegollas from Brazil. Pretty similar, but not quite. So I can't wait to dive into this series. I'm not too familiar with Llegollas. I think we have casted him in the past. As I'm trying to set a couple of things up here. And here we go. Of course, I'm going to be solo casting to begin with because Cristiano is sick. I'm not going to drag him on to cast with me because he's, you know, not feeling the best. Instead, I will drag on Darking later on, as usual, for the semis and for the finals. Oh boy, as we are diving straight in. Bit of a PvZ. I just realized that Cristiano in game is Zeratul. Shaking my head. But here we go. I already said his name. Spawning in the top right hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Chilean Protoss player, arguably the best Protoss player in all of Chile. Feels bad, man. Darkness and Dastan are currently inactive, shaking my head. But here he is, representing his new team, Beast. This is just Team Beast. It is Cristiano. And spawning it, thank you so much, ARJ Skater, for the bits. Gracias, mate, gracias. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres, we have the Brazilian Zerg player. He's typically from Middle-earth, but now from the land of Brazil, representing his brand new team, Amantes de StarCraft. It is Llegollas. Rocking that beautiful Amantes logo. For those wondering, we've spoken about it a couple of times on stream, but Amantes de StarCraft is a brand new Brazilian team. It of course has its amateur division, but it also picked up a couple of pro players as well. Amantes de StarCraft, there's a story behind it. Amantes de StarCraft was a unification of a bunch of Brazilian organizations. It was The Bad, it was Host Masters, Death Zone Gaming. There were a lot of Brazilian StarCraft teams that came together to form Amantes, and what they did was they ran tournaments. They were kind of like La Espira, but specifically for Brazil. So they would run monthly tournaments, they would run Gladiadores, which was like Desafiantes, but for Brazil. If you're unfamiliar with the words that I just said, they basically ran Code A. After DreamHack ended, any Brazilian player who didn't make it into the DreamHack main event, they would invite for a Brazilian-only tournament to support the up-and-coming Brazilian players. So they did a lot for their country, they did a lot for their scene, and now they started their own team. I'm unfamiliar with how the organization works because it was a bunch of teams coming together, so I don't know if that means that the other teams have like disbanded or if like it's its own like unique standalone thing. I'm a little bit unclear on that. But yeah, because of this, like, it's great to have another strong Brazilian team here. I think the most notable player that they have is the Zerg Lord. The Zerg Lord, yo, one of the best Zergs in all of Latin America, is representing them. And now here we have Llegollas, more of an amateur player. He did open up in a very interesting way. One, his hatchery was delayed by quite a bit. He also went for a Roach Warren opening. This has not been scouted, by the way. Cristiano did not see this, and I would expect an all-in from this. This is looking a little bit inefficient. Llegollas went for the Roach Warren, but he hasn't utilized it whatsoever. He's actually droning up. So yeah, things not really going the best way here for Llegollas. He is the underdog. I talk about Cristiano. Cristiano, he is the best Protoss player in all of Chile, right? Which is a pretty big title. Llegollas is an amateur player. He is again, what a bit of a lower league, if you will. But regardless, this tournament is open to everyone, and he's here doing his best, being a part of the scene, being a part of the community, and I cannot wait to see what he has to offer as finally the roaches are coming out. Meanwhile, we do have a Stargate opener coming out from Cristiano. We already have the Oracle zooming across the map. This Oracle is going to do multiple things. Other than just harass, it is also going to scout the tech of Llegollas as it comes out, and so far the roaches have been revealed. There are no spores whatsoever. There is a queen in position, so Cristiano is being forced back 4 now, but he just rotates around and he will dive into the mineral line. He will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He gets 5 more. Up. Ooh. Little bit of miss micro, gets 5 drone kills, but he does lose the Oracle. Was it worth it? You could say so, especially because he scouted the Roach Warren. He scouted the roaches, which does imply a Roach Warren. So he has scouted everything that he needs to, and he dealt the damage as well. He also confirmed that there was no third base. So Llegollas is in a really rough place. His third is so late. Meanwhile, Cristiano is doing what Protoss does best. Sky toss. It's disgusting. It's awful. We have a forge on the way alongside the Void Ray. What does this mean? This means we're going to be seeing shield batteries and cannons. We have a second Stargate on the way as well. We're going to be seeing +1 air attack, and this is going to be rough for Legolas to deal with because he doesn't have a lot of queens. He has 3 queens at the moment, and he's working on a lair off of 2 bases. Spores aren't really done. This lone Void Ray is going to deal a lot of damage. There will be a response from these queens, and the queens are enough to push away this Void Ray, but only one. Once 2, 3, 4 Void Rays show up, I don't know how Legolas really intends to defend. He's going to have to reposition his spores. His spores are in position for an Oracle, but he killed the Oracle. It's fine. You need to move it over. It needs to be in a better position to help deal with these Void Rays. Otherwise, the Void Rays are going to abuse you, which we have seen time and time again, even at the highest level of play. Meanwhile, Cristiano is going for his 3rd base. We have a continuous Void Ray production here. There's the cannon for defense, not necessarily for those upgrades. Finally, +1 range attack has begun, and now he is zooming across the map to deny this 3rd. No spores, no queens. Queens have to respond to this, but mate, we only have 3 queens. Oh no. And this may be it, folks. Cristiano shows up with 3 Void Rays, and there is no answer to the 3 Void Rays. The 3rd hatchery will fall. Roaches aren't going to do anything. Again, 3 queens against 5 Void Rays. That's not going to work out, especially because there's only enough energy for 1 transfuse. Oh boy. And in the current meta, you need to be able to respond to this as a Zerg player. You need to know the correct responses. You need to have spores in position. You need continuous queen production. This is so common nowadays. That this response or this, it's just not good enough. GG gets called, and Cristiano takes the first game. GG. Cristiano, he may be sick, but you know what? He's sick in many different ways. What does that mean? You can take that how you will. As Cristiano does take the first game, and we'll see how this series will go. Again, it's one of those things where Legolas is, again, the underdog, very much so the underdog, but, you know, you can always make something happen, right? You know, mate, go for a 12 pool. Just saying. Throw something wild out there, and maybe you can take a game off of a pro player. It's possible, mate. It's possible. Hold on, I'm catching up on the chat. You should. Probably is the one and only chance to see Shelby. Yo, Funara Caronte in the chat. Shelby has a very good chance to beat Arez. Shelby versus Zions, that is going to be brutal though. That's going to be another juicy matchup. Basically, it was a toss-up. Do I want Shelby versus Zions or Cristiano versus the Zerg Lord? That's kind of, those are my 2 options, and it's hard to pick between the 2. Ideally, I can have both, but I will settle for Cristiano versus the Zerg Lord just because I wanted to avoid the TVT, to be honest. I'm not too fond of TVTs personally. If I had like a Milk or Neo or Yaku, like another co-caster to help with that, then, or Darking even, sure, we'll go for it, but mate, solo casting TVT, nah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. I've been there before. I still remember I casted Clem versus Cure, and it was brutal, mate. Like, oh god, it was like, all right, who's gonna siege up first? Who's gonna siege up first? Oh, Doom drop into the main, but like, those were the exciting moments, and that's like, there was like a lot of lulls in between. It's like, oh no. It was a struggle for me. It was a real struggle. Oh. As we are diving in. Up. Just letting them know that I'm ready. And now we can dive in. Double L sounds like Y, so it feels like Llegollas. True. El Mundanito. Very true. Double L in Spanish is a Y sound, like a ya, like a Llego. But I'm gonna go on a wild guess, and I'm gonna assume that he went for double L's because the regular version was already taken. And that this has become his ID, but I think it's still Legolas. I could be wrong. I 100% admit to that. But I feel like Legolas is meant to be what it is. I don't know. He may be sick, but he still has the void printer. Ay, ay, ay. True. Alright, here we go. We are diving into game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Round 1 match in Sentimiento Latino. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Beckett Industries LE. We have the Chilean Protoss player. He is yellow, representing Team Beast. It is Cristiano. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Beckett Industries LE, now rocking that beautiful Brazilian flag, representing Amantes de StarCraft. It is oh god, Llegollas. Look, the Zeratul is really throwing me off. Funada Cristiano. Why is he called Zeratul? What? Why? Why? There's no reason for this. Oh god, hold on, I'm just setting things up here. Cristiano X alias Zeratul. There we go. Alright, it'll be ready for the next series. But interesting choice here, as we do have Llegollas going for a hatch gas pool opening. So nothing aggressive, even though we are on Beckett Industries. I was so excited. I was so excited in the lobby. I was like, yo, Beckett Industries, let's go. Let's pop off. Let's do something crazy, something wild from the Zerg side. But no, we have a standard opening. Shaking my head. Shaking my head. So far everything is pretty standard. The one, like, probably the biggest difference, yo, Cristiano is terrified. He is terrified of getting busted, essentially, whether it's a roach push or a baneling bust or anything aggressive. So he doubles down, he walls off immediately, and he throws down his second pylon as a part of the wall. So instead of hiding tech, he is more I guess prioritized, or more, he's prioritizing just walling off more than anything else. Oh boy. And we have a Twilight Council follow-up. Interesting. So he's not going to be going Sky Toss. He's going to be going for a more ground-focused composition. We'll see if this is going to be for Glaive Adepts. Could be for DTs. Could be for Charge Lots. There's no Forge, so I'm leaning more towards Adepts. But we'll see. We'll see if a Robo gets thrown down. Oh, you didn't even need a Robo, to be fair. Yeah. Oh my god. Because this map is so small, you don't need a War Prism. Just get a proxy pylon and a proxy gateway and you're good. Meanwhile, yo, we have a bit of a awkward Ling flood. 10 Lings are on the way. We're gonna have 16 Lings in total. That's a lot of Lings. Ling speed is still only halfway done. But we'll keep an eye on the drone counts as the Lings are being hidden. We also have a lair. I'm not too sure what the lair is for. I don't think we need the lair. I would be okay with like Lings and a Baneling nest, but the lair throws things into question. Is this for Nidus? Maybe? But there's no Overlord in position. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. Meanwhile, it is going to be Glaive Adepts. We have 3 gateways finishing up. Warp Gate is about to finish up as well. Cristiano is going for, oh my god, a Dark Shrine! 4 gates with a Dark Shrine. Cristiano is about to pop off, and Lings are not going to be enough to deal with this. Pure Adept is enough to deal with all these Lings. Cristiano, he confirms, no drones here at the natural base. That is a tell. He knows how aggressive his opponent is about to be, but he's also going to be aggressive. Nidus, there it is. Nidus gets thrown down, but like, I questioned the Nidus just because, like, where are you going to put it? Here in the natural? I guess, but here come the Adepts, and I just don't feel like there's an answer to the Adepts. Sure, there are a lot of Lings, but like, again, as long as the Adepts have good positioning, Cristiano should be fine. Oh god, but that's a big should. Here we go, the Lings, they do finally show up, but the SimCity, or the movement here of Cristiano, is pretty good. These Adepts, oh my god, they shaved straight into the natural, into the main, from the natural. He scouts the Nidus, and all the Lings are being cleaned up. Ay, ay, ay. The positioning with the minerals, oh god. The Adepts survive. In come another wave of Adepts. Every single Ling was cleaned up. And not just the Lings, the drones are going to be going down as well. There is still no answer. Sure, the night is finished, but there is no Nidus. Like, it's not going to happen. He just can't deal with the Adepts, let alone the DTs. I mean, there is a lair, so we can morph in detection, but it's going to be too late. It's just not going to happen. Here we go. The Adepts are taking out the natural. DT waddles into the main base. There is no detection. And every single drone is going to go down. Ay. We need an Overseer stats. And there is no Overseer. Oh, God. GG gets called. And Cristiano will take the series 2-0. Congratulations, Cristiano. Congratulations. He does take down his opponent. To be expected. For those wondering, Llegollas is a Platinum League player. Platinum. So, a bit of a skill gap between a Platinum and a GM. but regardless, he showed up. He did his best. And you know what? Llegollas is eligible for the raffle. We do have a participation raffle that we raffle off before the finals every single week. Or every single other week, I should say, for all the participants of this event. So it doesn't matter if you got knocked out in the semis, it doesn't matter if you're a finalist, or if you got knocked out in the very first round, you have an equal chance to win the raffle, which is 5 USD. You can do a lot with 5 USD. You can get some tacos, you can get some food. I'm starving. Oh boy. But yes, congratulations, Cristiano, as he will move on in the brackets. And I'm excited. I'm very excited because he's going to move on to face another Brazilian Zerg, also on Amantes' StarCraft. He is going up against the Zerg Lord.